Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the sassy stainer herself, Sandy Reevy.
You are so funny.
It is episode 362, week of June 30th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, Monday the 30th, Mercury in shadow.
Prepare for the retrograde.
Then Sandy's favorite day, Friday, July 4th, Venus conjunct Uranus.
Spontaneous friendship.
And Venus ingress Gemini.
Diversify.
And Neptune stations retrograde.
His turning.
Then Sunday, July 6th, Venus sextile Saturn.
Tackle something new.
And Venus sextile Neptune.
Esoteric magic, perhaps.
Then on the horizon, we have upcoming our CWS webinar for Uranus and Gemini, the Talisman trunk show, and our Italy retreat, which in our house, Sandy and I are going to be welcoming more signups to the Italy retreat. So consider coming with us to Italy. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, sassy stainer, or should I call you the turbulent tickety?
Either one would be apparent and correct right now.
So we'll be staining your deck this really pretty ashy color. And also, right as we are recording this podcast, you got a knock on the door and you got pretty much sent this letter.
I had a sign for this express mail. The UPS guy is standing there. He was like, I need a signature for this. And I go to the door and he's like, I go, who's it from? I can see it's an envelope. He goes, I don't know. And we look at the label and it's like, he's never seen anything like that before. I'm like, I don't know if I should sign it. Because I said, can I open it before I sign it? And he goes, well, if you sign it, you still have to take it. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I know I've not done anything wrong. And then I open it up and I've done something wrong.
So tell us the story.
Yeah.
Tell us the story.
Well, don't you want to tell it in our house?
Oh, sure. We'll wait till our house. So let's see. Going direct to all of you, thank you so much for listening into our podcast. We love you. We love your feedback. So don't forget to email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. If you have feedback, questions, we would love to answer them here on the podcast. Let's move into the transits, where we start today, Monday, June 30th, off with Mercury in shadow. So give us a rundown of this Mercury in shadow.
Yeah, prepare for the retrograde period, which doesn't come until July 17th, but we're 2.5 weeks away from that. And a shadow period is when a planet, and all planets can get, except for the sun and the moon. Shadow periods are degrees in areas of the zodiac, so the horoscope, the sky, where a planet will return while it's in its retrograde period. So this is the day on the 30th that Mercury moves at into 4 degree of Leo area in the zodiacs, in the sky. Mm-hmm. But Mercury will start his retrograde period in July 17th and come back to the 4 degree Leo, which he starts today on the 30th of June. Mm-hmm. So we just call it the shadow period. And particularly Mercury has, shadow period, 3 massive shadow periods throughout the year, each year. And so I like to note these for people's, natal charts, those that I'm working with regularly, because it kind of signals, a subject matter or a situation or a conversation or a plan or something that needs to have more focused in attention. through the retrograde. It's not done yet, let's say. You cannot take it out of the oven yet. It is not ready to eat.
Okay, nice. All right, so Mercury in shadow.
Yeah.
We'll just prepare for that.
No, you start here on the 30th to prepare for the retrograde period that's coming up. So just be aware of what's the subject matter that's going on today.
Got it. And we'll cue that in later, July 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So your favorite day, Friday, July 4th, Venus conjunct Uranus.
Yeah, and it's because I'm having some personal aspects on this, which is why it's my favorite day. But, Venus is in Taurus. She's at the very last degree of her sign, and she's meeting up with Uranus. So there's a kind of this spontaneous friendship. Venus has come around here every year for the last 7 years and hit Uranus, right? In fact, we're going to get Venus meeting up with Uranus in her sign one more time, and that's not till April 23rd of 2026. So, this 29-degree area for any of the zodiacs says, hey, is there a finalizing? Is there a finishing up? Is there a ending, a completion period to something? So, I call this spontaneous friendship because, it's like you making your internal fireworks be your clue if something kind of turns you on, right? If it kind of activates or awakens. So be your individual self here, glow from your own heart to others, because we're going to get this one more time. And then the next time that she'll meet up with Uranus will be in Gemini sign, right? It'll be Mercury sign for the next 7 years. So starting in 2027. So it's just, it's nice that says, hey, she's meeting him in her own sign. Yeah, that's why it's my favorite day.
Okay. And we also have Venus, again, ingressing in Gemini. So now Venus is moving into the sign of Gemini.
Right. So boom, 0, 29, boom, 0. That's the next number in the zodiacal degrees.
Cycles. Mm-hmm.
So, and this is about diversify, right? Because, Venus in Taurus likes to stay grounded. It's the fixed grounded sign. It's the bull. It's the I'm steady and strong. I'm grounded. Mm-hmm. And now she moves into air mutable. So it's like too many things going on. Share your values, share your thoughts with others, write your love story because it's your story. Good for planning an outing with a loved one or somebody that you've newly met. It's about curiosity, expanding your friendship or meeting up with friends that you have stories, memories to tell. So, yeah, it's nice.
And diversity is pretty much ruled by Gemini. So it's about trying new things and mm-hmm. seeing what value you can get out of, say, a different sport or a different book genre.
Right. It's not Venus and Taurus, right? It's where it was same old, planned, organized, feeling, content. Now it's about getting out, using your hands, using your legs, using your mind, you're moving into a study. So, diversify.
Okay. And still the same day, we have the third and final transit of Friday, the 4th, Neptune stations retrograde.
This is at 2 degrees of Aries. Again, we know that Neptune just moved in to the 0 Aries, got to the 1 Aries and got to the 2 and now is retrograding to turn. So, he goes back to Pisces because he's not done in the Pisces area. In other words, he is not done with my sun at 29 Pisces. This is when he gets to Pisces and starts moving forward December 10th. And so we note this time from this early July to kind of early December is, where is our imagination? What do we really truly believe to be true? So we're testing all those out because there's a lot of new things going on in the world that we're saying, hey, is this going to click? Is this going to check? Right. So it's still trying to gain some strong legs. It's Neptune. It can be deceiving. It can be skeptical, but it can also be enriching for the inside spiritual soul.
So even if, say, we turn down a unfamiliar or a different path, we might find out that we need to go back and reassess. But also it's kind of like, for me, that reminds me a little bit of, that's the part of adventure. Sometimes you go down the path and you're experiencing things that you never have before, and there's value in that, even if it was maybe a little deceptive.
I don't mind when, Neptune likes to be in a water sign of Pisces. And so he's been there for like 18 years. So, and then he moves into, he's like all dried up. He goes into the fire sign, or the cardinal fire of Aries, and not sure what to do here, right? Kind of like it's gotten too hot. It's so funny because we've been super hot here in the Midwest. And it's got to turn around and said, okay, I did as best I can for stepping my toe, in this new area of the sky, which is asking me to, move quickly and to innovate fast and to bring all my magical powers into form, into action. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go backwards now. So, some of this is just testing for him because he has to go over the world point. This is world point. 0 Aries is world point.
Okay. So possibly big adjustments happening.
Yeah. And they're kind of like back on the back burner, possibly. Like, okay, let's kind of reflect on, when we talk about a retrograde, let's reflect on what has occurred since Neptune went into Aries in the last few months. Well, a lot, right? And we have to think about Aries is the sign of war.
Okay.
It's ruled by Mars. So how's that going? Right. So I'm hoping that, we're looking at a ceasefire that some people say it's been, it's holding, and some say it's been violated. So really, it's Neptune. What's the truth?
Right.
It's going to have to be, more time under the belt.
Yeah, more to uncover. So let's move on to Sunday, July 6th, where we have 2 transits left in the week, starting off with Venus sextile Saturn.
Tackles something that's new, right? Venus here is, remember, in the air sign of Gemini, and making a sextile to Saturn in Aries. So neither one of them are super happy where they are, but they're making a nice opportunistic sextile, 60 degrees. What have you been curious about? What has been kind of on your mind? And then going, oh, you know what? I forgot I was going to research that, or I forgot I was going to look at that. Or I didn't have my computer at the time, or I didn't have time to go down this road. There's a new subject that has legs, or a spine, right? That Saturn spine. So something has some backbone. Put your backbone into it. It's a minor aspect, but it's with Saturn. So it's like, hey, commit to something that could have innovative idea that kind of takes you down a new path.
Venus and Gemini will be excited about that. So the second transit of Sunday is Venus again, sextiling Neptune.
Right. And we automatically hear the sextile because we got Saturn and Neptune so close together in the sky within 1 degree. So this could be esoteric magic. All right. It's like, take this opportunity to learn more about what you don't know. Right. Or maybe it's just beyond that reality. What's best about beyond the reality is maybe believing in yourself, because not believing in yourself isn't an opportunity. It's a restriction. So this is saying, hey, my value systems, my beliefs in me, the beliefs in what I believe work for me, right? It's a sextile. So, is it some type of magic? We are all magicians. Even if, we pick the magician card in the tarot deck, right? We all have the tools to be magicians on our own. We don't have the same tools.
And to bridge worlds.
Yeah, just kind of like we don't have the same guardian angels. Because that can be a tool.
Right. Different tools.
Which then leads us to the Italy retreat. But anyway, go on.
Right. So don't forget that you can also follow along with these transits personally. If you'd like, you can download your natal chart at intentionbeads.com/chart. And if you are completely confused by any of the astrology signs or glyphs, we do have an astrology glyph guide for you that gives you an overall picture of what an astrology chart is all about. So check those out. Those links are in the show notes. And let's move onto the horizon, where we have our Talisman trunk show coming up July 9th. So if anyone is interested in just learning more, seeing the craftsmanship and the artistry that Sandy incorporates in all of her talismans, it is a really, really fun and wonderful trunk show where she opens up her drawers and shows each one of her talismans. Maybe that was misspoken, but we also are going to be having some items for raffle. So if you are interested, you can purchase raffle tickets. And the great news about the raffle tickets is that with every raffle ticket, you get a gift certificate back for the same amount. So each raffle ticket is $10. And let's just say you buy 10 of them, you're getting a gift certificate to your inbox for $100, and you still get 10 of those raffle tickets.
Right. And I do want to say that what I will be showing are all the new ones, all the new talismans, because, I've been up at 2:00 in the morning because Venus is rising in her own sign. And I've been getting up at 5:00 in the morning. So there's a lot of midnight talismans because Venus is the greater benefic of the night time. So that's the only time you can get her rising in her own sign is this time of year. When she's in there this time of year is in the midnight hours. So yeah, a lot of do I have black?
You don't. You look great.
Maybe it's my new hairstyle.
Yeah. And also I think all these new talismans are going to be really exciting to show to everyone with their beautiful colors and their beautiful transits that are here. So let's move on. We also have an upcoming Chatting with the Stars webinar that is with Sandy and Susan. Susan is a financial astrologer who both of them are going to be breaking down Uranus and Gemini and what that means for us, both on a grand scale, say like on a worldly scale, and also what does that mean for us personally. So if you'd like to join us, make sure to sign up on Patreon, and all Big Dipper and above members will be able to access that webinar. And also you can be chosen as a volunteer for the webinar. So Sandy and Susan throw up your chart, also hiding your name, birth date, and all that information, but basically give you a mini reading on what this Uranus and Gemini is working through you. So I'll also remind everyone too that we have our Italy retreat in Tuscany happening October 4th through the 11th. It's at this beautiful castle, and link is in the show notes. So make sure to head over there and click on that link because you will see some immaculate pictures of where we will be staying. All the rooms are completely different. We've been posting up videos and everything on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, to show a little bit of what this retreat is going to look like. So, but since we're going to be discussing a little bit of that in our house, let's jump into our house and start uncovering more of the Italy retreat.
Well, let's follow through on this ding dong as we were getting ready to record this podcast. A guy was standing at the front door with the UPS sign on, and I had a sign for this, and you sign for an envelope. It's like, oh, what's going on? And so I opened it up, and I have it's from the Commerce of Firenze, so it's from Florence, Italy.
Mm-hmm. They're calling you back.
Yeah, they're calling me back, folks. And like I said, I was there and rented a car in Rome and drove up to Monteguffani in the pitch dark night. And then the next day I got up, left the castle for a day trip into Florence. Mm-hmm. And I don't read signs. I was driving. I do know how to drive a car. And it's
right, but maybe you couldn't read the signs in Italian.
I couldn't read the signs in Italian. And so apparently I did not know this until about 10 seconds ago that I have a traffic infringement through my Avis
rental car
that I rented.
Which is funny because you were kind of curious this morning about the Mercury Uranus transit that was going on, and you were kind of curious, like, how is this square?
I have Mercury square Neptune today.
Oh, yes, not Uranus.
And I should go back real quick and look to see what was going on this day, because they were telling me on November 22 of last year at 10:52 a.m., I was driving in a lane reserved for another vehicle category as per existing road signs.
Right. So those existing road signs weren't clear enough for you.
Weren't in English.
Right.
So of course, and I'm getting the ticket now. I didn't know I did anything wrong then.
Right.
Although I was
because the cameras probably got you.
Well, I was caught between a rock and a hard place. I remember that being in Florence and going down a street where I didn't see a whole lot of other cars. And I'm in a pedestrian area.
A lot of places are pedestrian areas around Florence.
Trying to take my GPS. I was following my GPS, so I'm going to blame it on them. I'm giving them this ticket. But I remember trying to take a left. It tells me, take a left here at this light. And I had people standing around going, back up, forward, back up, forward, back up. And I'm like, I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I'm like, oh my God, all these people are thinking, who is this, Doris?
American woman.
Yeah. She's not even supposed to be here, but people were trying to help me. So I bet it was there. I bet it was at that location and this is what? My God, this is how many months later?
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 months.
8 months.
But it's funny because this Mercury square Neptune today, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is for me. But Mercury is about driving. It's about, ticket. Neptune is about misunderstanding, or I couldn't understand. So I'm getting served. It's not served, but I felt like I was being served because I had to sign for something. So, I'm going to have to take care of this because I'm also renting a car in Florence for the retreat that we're doing in October. So I will have to focus on this. So, we've been putting a little bit of a push out there, and we've got more rooms. We got more people signed up. They have their flights. I've got their birth information. We're getting there. We're getting closer and closer.
Right. We got 2 more signups. They're super excited, and we do have a few more rooms left available. So if you haven't checked out the Italy retreat, highly recommend checking out our retreat page so you can see all of the things that are included in the retreat cost.
I want to comment that both of these women are brand new to my retreat pool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one, made a comment that, I'm not really into astrology, but I am into past lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, grabbed me, cinched the deal, is because I've always had and she's from Greece. So, she's always had this feeling of living many past lives. So she wants to follow
explore that.
Yeah,
right.
To explore that. And then the other woman also knows about her past life pretty well. And she just wants to learn how to integrate that soul's mission with this soul's mission. And because, you don't have to be astrology attuned for this at all. And nor do you have to be religious, because we are going to be talking about, the guardian angels. And we all humans come from the universal placement of a higher placement in the world, a spirit world. And they are called spirits. They are called angels. And so, we all have a guardian angel, and, your guardian angel provides these things for you, and mine provides these things for me. And it's really nice to know who is our guardian angel this year, or this lifetime, to align with what they have to offer us. Because each of the 72 angels has a different set of instructions, manages something different, right? Yeah. Some are very logical brained, and some are very spiritual brained, so all 72 do different things.
Right. So you're going to be sharing with people who are their direct connections and giving them more information about those guardian angels, as well as delving in a little deeply into the past lives.
The past life guardian angel as well.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, we would love for you to join the Italy retreat. It's going to be an amazing experience of past life guardian angels in a medieval castle, being in the surrounding area of Tuscany, Italy, traveling and hopefully not getting any tickets in Florence, and yeah, just being with really wonderful women who are wanting to learn and evolve spiritually. So we would love to have you join.
Yeah.
Take a look at our retreat page and let us know if you have any questions. You can always sign up for a free 15-minute call with Sandy. And if you are interested, we do have a little special going on for all you podcast listeners. You can book your astrology reading with Sandy at intentionbeads.com/book. So that is all for our episode today, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you all next Monday. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.